The purpose of this short video is to provide you a concise overview of critical aspects of APA style and formatting to help you prevent the most common formatting errors in your upcoming papers, and also to help you prepare for the APA quiz that will be Monday, January 30th. There are really only about 5 or 6 key basic elements of APA formatting that is important to remember. Whatever word processing software you are using, format the document for 1-inch margins on all sides. Set the option for double spacing between each line, and set the font to Times New Roman 12 point. It's really best to begin the document by formatting the title slide or the title page, which will actually be page 1, and a reference page, which will be a separate final page. So begin your paper by actually creating a title page and a reference page, and then you can build your paper from that. On the title page, you should include the title of the paper, and the title should not be any longer than 12 words in length. Then several lines below that include your name, then double space, and then type UT Austin School of Nursing. All of this should be on the top 1/2 of the page. Now you may see different spacings for a title page in the APA guidelines, and you may have different formatting for the title page in other courses, but this is a formatting that we will use for N321 title all papers. Your title page and all subsequent pages will include a running head in the header space, which should be about 1/2 inch from the top of the page. The running head is actually a shortened title of the paper and is designed to be a quick and easy visual reminder of the focus of the paper for the reader. Now the running head should be formatted flush left of the page, and the running head should not contain more than 50 characters. That's letters and spaces. So the running head is flush left at the top of the page, and the page number listing only the specific number is formatted flush right of the title page. There is not a footer or information at the bottom of the page in any N321 papers. This is an example of some major formatting tips for page 2, which is actually the first page of text. Notice the format for the running head. The words RUNNING, capital HEAD, colon, are at the top left in the top 1/2 inch of the page. The actual running head itself, that is the actual abbreviated portion of the title, is in all caps. And remember, it should not be more than 50 characters. The title of the paper should be centered in what is called title case. That means that the first letter of major words are in caps. So the title is in title case, centered, and bolded. Make certain you set your settings, your paragraph settings, to indent the first line of each paragraph. If you take a moment after or during this video or after to review this particular slide, you can actually see a suggested outline for the N321 paper 1. This you can use as a guide regarding paragraph organization and emphasis. However, I will post another short YouTube video with more details about paper 1. The most critical aspects of formatting the actual body of the paper. Align the text left so that the left margin is flush and even, but that the right side of the paper is what we call ragged. That is, do not make the paper in a block fashion. You repeat the title on the first line of the paper on page 2. Remember, page 2 is the actual first text page, but is actually listed as page 2 because your title page is page 1. Do not include the words introduction as a header in the paper. And remember to set your tabs to indent the first line 1/2 inch or about 5 spaces. Referencing your sources within the paper is critical. It is ethical and mandatory that you give credit where you have used ideas or sources from other research or published articles. This is done to eliminate confusion for the reader and to avoid plagiarism. You must give credit to people for their ideas. When referencing, paraphrase others' ideas in your own words, and then give credit. I do not recommend you're planning to include any direct quotes in your N321 paper. Those specific words are just not that critical. Knowing good and doing good is not a direct quote that only Galen has ever said. So that does not need to be a direct quote. What is important is including those words and ideas into your own position, your own thinking, and then referencing the source of those ideas. But here are some general guidelines about referencing within the text. When referencing a source within the text that is not a direct quote, so you're only sharing that you, in essence, are incorporating someone else's ideas. Include only the author and year in a closed parentheses within the sentence or at the end of the sentence. It is not necessary or really correct to ever include the name of the book or article within the sentence in text. So do not include the name of a book or the name of the article. The author's name and the year alerts the reader to that source that's included in the reference page. If it is ever absolutely necessary to use a direct quote, the proper procedure then is to include the author, year, and page number in a closed parentheses immediately at the end of the quote. This slide offers some suggestions on ways to cite a source within the sentence. You will see 3 common variations depending upon the material to be discussed and the flow within the paragraph. So use the formatting that makes it easiest for the reader to follow. The reference page is the final page of the paper. I recommend that you set a page break at the end of the text so that it does automatically begin a new page. Do not simply double space after the end of your text until a new page emerges. title of the last page, References. The references should be in alphabetical order by the last name of the first author in each article. And it is critical that you list only references that you actually cited in the paper. References are formatted in what is called a hanging indent, so that the first line of the reference is flush left and the second line is indented 5 spaces. This slide actually gives examples of correct APA formatting. Again, the references are alphabetical. The format should be the author last name, then author initials only, then the year in parentheses. The next entry is the title of the article. The first letter of the first word is capitalized. The rest of the title is in small letters. The journal in which the article was published is spelled out and placed in italics, as is the volume number. So the name of the journal and the volume number are in italics. Some articles will list an issue number. If the article actually has a volume number and an issue number, then the issue number is in parentheses. Some journals do not include a issue number, so you may or may not have that included. But the final entry in the actual reference is the page number, and you do not include P or double P, but simply the range of pages. I hope this helps you prepare for the APA formatting quiz that we will take online as a group toward the end of class on Monday. I encourage you to bring your computer or other internet accessible device. Make sure that it is charged. It will be 10 short multiple choice questions. If you have questions about APA formatting, there are several resources included in the Canvas module on APA formatting. I would also recommend that you review the file that's called APA Guide 2015 Highlighted. That will be in the announcement section of Canvas where you will be able to access this quiz.